and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I have my ScrawlrBox, and if you don't know what ScrawlrBox is, it is a monthly art subscription box. This is UK based and it is £15 a month, free postage to anyone in the UK, and a little bit extra for elsewhere. So what's great about this is there is a new feature where if you buy a box, a tree is planted for every box that is bought, so that's pretty cool. They include art supplies in here. There's this new Scrawler zine, which is pretty cool. That tells you a bit about the artist, a bit about the supplies, and also shows off some of the artwork from the previous boxes too. And there's also a little sweet treat, as well as a word or phrase that you can use all the supplies just in this box to create a piece of artwork based on, which is pretty good if you've got a bit of art block or you're struggling to think of what to create. So let's get into this. I'm excited. So let's pull this open. Ooh, lovely, lovely. So most of the time when I open this, this has all been destroyed, so this is pretty good. Ooh, two little boxes of art supplies, which is nice. Take it all out of here. Scrawler zine, and there seems to be a nice pad of paper. So I'll move this out of the way. So we'll have a look at the zine in a minute because I think it does spoil what supplies are in here, so we'll move that up to the back here. This is the featured artist. That's pretty nice. It looks... oh, I can't tell what medium that is. Maybe watercolour? Or some sort of pastel, maybe. So this is a little bit about the artist, Alice Coles. Oh, it's Hello Alice. I do follow her on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. So it looks like some sort of watercolour paper. There's a nice thick wad here. Oh, that's a good amount of paper they've given us there, which is quite nice. Let's have a look what is in here. So this is the sticker for this month, so that they do collectible stickers now, which are vinyl stickers, and they look different every month, so they're pretty nice to collect now. So this tells us about the supplies, which I will read from when I need to. And we've got a drumstick kind of chewy sweet, which is nice. Instantly I recognise this jelly roll. I have a couple of these. They're very, very handy. White, you can go over anything with these, and they cover anything, so you can go over black with them, and they're pretty good for that sort of thing. That's nice. We have a paintbrush, a sea white paintbrush. I think I've had a couple of these in the Scrawler boxes before. They're always very nice to have. Can't complain with a good sea white paintbrush. We have a Caran d'Ache Prismalo. Now, this is water soluble. So you can add water to this and create a bit of a watercolour effect with the pencil, which is pretty nice. Okay, and I'm assuming the main supply is in this box over here, which I can see says Derwent on, so that's nice. You can never go wrong with some Derwent supplies. Special colour selection, especially for ScrawlrBox, so that's interesting. Let's have a look. I always like it when you get supplies that are especially made for a box. Oh, probably should cut away from myself. There we go. Ooh, these look interesting. Oh, I have seen these before. So let's have a look what this card says. Derwent Inktense Blocks are highly versatile water-soluble pigments which create a vivid ink-like medium when combined with a little water. Once dried, after application, Inktense becomes permanent, which enables you to work over the dry areas without affecting the original layers of colour. Ooh, I think I'm going to enjoy these. At first I thought they were pastels and I was absolutely dreading it. Oh, probably shouldn't bend them like that. But these look great. Let's test them out. I need to test them now. Let's have a look. So let's get some water. Got a helper here, get me some water. So let's try out this pencil for a start. I think would be good. So it doesn't have like a HB or a B or anything, so I'm assuming just because it's water soluble it doesn't really matter about that sort of thing. Let me zoom in for you. So I'm gonna do light and then dark. I wonder if you'll get some ghosting with the pencil. I always find things like this create a lot of ghosting. Let's have a look. So we have that. Let me wet this paintbrush here. Let's see how this, let's go down. Wow, that picks up that pencil quite well. So yes, you do get ghosting. I think with something like this that you're putting straight down onto the paper, it's very difficult to not get ghosting, to be honest. But it really does pick that up, so I think there's many uses for that sort of thing. I think that's really interesting. I think I have a Derwent version of this pencil actually, so that's good. Right, I think I'm going to have a look at the zine because I don't know how to use these Inktense blocks, and I think it would be handy to know exactly how we use them before I make an error. So here it tells you, so this is the page with all of the supplies on that have come in the box. So it says here for the Inktense blocks, you can draw, scrape, wet, dry, wash and paint. So it looks like you can do multiple of things. You can scrape it off a bit like a pastel, you can draw it on like a pastel, and then you must just add water. Just as simple as that, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's much to it. Anyway, we'll have a quick look through this zine. So this is the artist and about her work, and a few questions that have been asked. So that's a good little read there. We have some scrawler tips from the artist on how to use these. So I'll have a little have a look at this after this segment of the video and see how I use them properly before I go into the artwork. And the scrawler gallery. So this is from this is from April's box, not May's box. So it must be 2 months behind the scrawler gallery, I guess, waiting for people to come in with their artwork, I think. But that's nice to see everyone's stuff. And then a little bit of extra stuff and some updates from Scrawler themselves. So yeah, I think these little zines are really good. Nice little read extra thing along with your art supplies. So anyway, I'll have a little play around with these Inktense blocks now, but then I will read how I actually use them. So we'll use, I really enjoy the colours. This kind of like maroony colour. I don't know what colour you, oh, it looks a bit pink now. I'm looking at it a bit closer, but it looks a very nice colour. So let's try them dry. Oh, I can't, it's kind of like an oil pastel rather than a chalk pastel. In texture, I'll zoom back in. It's very nice actually. Ooh, I really enjoy that. It's very, very nice. What are we in, June? Very, very nice. In fact, I like that. Let's see how that works with water. Wow. Again, a little ghosting, but not actually that much. I'm not unhappy about it. It adds a bit of texture, but that colour is beautiful. If I take that off and add it over here, that colour is stunning. Oh, so these are great. I think I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. I think my way of working with these already, I think, will be a bit more like watercolours, so you can make them quite thin, which is nice. I don't know whether I'd work straight on the paper if I want texture, or whether I will use them in a pan. It says you can use them like pan watercolours, which is interesting. So yes, I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with these. And we will see what I come up with. Let's have a look at the Scrawler challenge. It is spirit animal, so let's see what we can create with that. I think these colours are going to be something a bit more mystical and a bit more interesting, so we will have a play. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned to see what I create based on spirit animal. So I had a little bit of an extra play off camera with the Inktense blocks. I used a toothbrush and kind of used it as a stippling, a splattering effect, having read the tips from the artists in the zine. It showed some really good different techniques that you can use them with. So yeah, I did have a little play off camera. From doing that, I decided that, well, firstly, my spirit animal is a cheetah. I've always loved cheetahs. I wouldn't necessarily say I've wanted to, I think myself as a cheetah. I don't really. I kind of just always liked the animal, so I thought that would be the perfect thing for me to do with this. Obviously, the colours are not the most conventional cheetah colours, so I'm going for a bit more of an abstract look, almost like a sunset in Africa along the plains, you know, and it's kind of affecting the colour of the cheetah, that sort of thing. But yes, so from playing around with them, I decided that the background needed to be kind of a bit more pale to contrast the brighter colours of the cheetah. So I really watered down the Inktense blocks by just using the block itself. So I covered the background with water and then just kind of like the wet on wet technique that you'd use with watercolours. And then, as you can see here, I'm laying down the colour straight onto the paper, because this is just my base colour, so I didn't mind if there was a little bit of texture. But what I did notice is that the light colours, like this yellow especially, doesn't show the texture up quite as much. It's quite bright. It doesn't leave such a grainy texture on your paper, and I would imagine a smoother watercolour paper would leave a better effect in terms of kind of that textured look. But I think it laid down really well, a nice layer. I will admit I was finding it hard to stop it from looking quite streaky. I don't know whether I think I would have preferred to have used a bigger brush, but I didn't want to incorporate any extra supplies into this, because the whole point is to use the box only. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. They laid down a nice thick layer of colour, and then I was able to go up and just layer and layer and layer. I probably added so many layers to this piece, and it really added a lot of depth and texture to the cheetah. And the colours are so vibrant, you really have to water them down to get them to look kind of less, I don't know, opaque, like you would with a watercolour. So yeah, it was. I think I worked with these very much like watercolours and just layered them up in thinner layers until I got to the darker shades, and then added layer upon layer to darken those up. And that's about all I did. And my final review of this box is that I've really enjoyed it. When I first saw these in the box, I instantly thought of these pastels, which are not my favourite things, but I absolutely love these, and I think I'm definitely going to keep trying these out, and potentially, if I enjoy them even more, potentially might buy a set of these and use them in future videos, so I'd keep your eyes peeled. But all in all, really enjoyed this box, and can't wait to create some more art with these supplies. So thank you very much for watching, and please continue to the end. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm definitely doing more and more ScrawlrBoxes to come, so if you want to see more, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.